Cute. Oh! Oh! Well. Clorand murders Navia canon. Lovers to enemies to lovers to enemies. Oh, okay. He's not a free man. He does not pay rent. It's got Edam and Gouda on it. And Edam, this toast is Gouda. Your Highness, what brings you here? Given how things stand, I shall retrieve the relic myself, and then decide what to do next. Your Highness, that will not do. Your Highness, you cannot go. Oh, it seems you have a better solution. Let's hear it then, Mr. Saborn. I, would like to inform Your Highness that following a long discussion with Sufash last night, we have come to the conclusion that it would be better to set up a trial ground elsewhere. Here, and then the Guardian who passes our selection process can retrieve the relic for us. 2 birds, 1 stone. But without the relic, how can we be sure that the chosen Guardian is really the one we are looking for? Worry not, ministers. Though we are indeed facing a great crisis, this is precisely as the legends predicted. When the crisis befalls us, a Guardian shall thereupon emerge. At this moment, what I must do is ensure that they are shown the right path. Besides, I am the best flyer in the kingdom, so there is none more suitable than I to judge the Guardian's abilities. But... then will you go instead? I'm afraid my legs are rather useless when it comes to flight of any kind. Rivali coded. How about you, Saborn? Will you go? My eyesight. Alas, I fear I would be unable to see their movements clearly enough to judge. Good, that's settled then. The 2 of you will stay to handle affairs within the kingdom, while I shall assist in managing the selection process at the original location myself. Might I submit myself as a candidate for the trial, Your Highness? Ooh, we're good at flying, and adventuring too. Can we participate? Oh, greetings to both of you, and welcome to the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells. You're very welcome to sign up for the Guardian of the Kingdom selection trials. You have not previously participated in the selection trials of our Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, if I am not mistaken. How does Your Highness know this? Your appearance differs greatly from our kingdom's subjects. Had you taken part before, I would not forget it. Oh, that's enough chit-chat, I suppose. As it so happens, I was just about to head over to host a selection ceremony near the Relic Shrine. Let us go there together. Ministers, the kingdom's affairs are in your hands. Do try not to let anyone cut this tree down while I'm away finding our true guardian, if you could. As you wish, Your Highness. The 2 of you, please come with me. Before the selection officially begins, there are a few things I still need to tell you. Saborn, we must think of something. You are no doubt right, but when have we ever managed to hold back the princess? Please wait here a moment. I shall introduce the trial for you, as well as a few things that you'll need to watch out for. Wow, Her Highness sure is a decisive decision-maker, huh? Guess that's a true princess for you. I declared I'd accept the trial quite suddenly. Oh, perhaps my introduction seemed a little too forthcoming. My apologies. In truth, there have been many squirrels who, like you, have suddenly turned up and declared their intention to undergo the trial, so I am already accustomed to receiving such candidates. At least, there were many, before that dragon attacked the kingdom. You said it was to retrieve a relic. It is indeed. As I mentioned, not long ago, a giant dragon passed through our kingdom. We tried our best to drive it away, but before leaving, it trampled both the trial ground and the sacred site where the relic was kept to smithereens. Our original stable trial environment is now very different from the way it used to be. The wind currents have become unpredictable, causing a dramatic increase in the difficulty of some trial stages. After the environment changed so drastically, some candidates, who could have easily passed the first few stages before, now find even the very first stage too challenging. But from another perspective, the current trial is actually a better test for candidates' true strength, so it should better help us choose a strong guardian of the kingdom. I'm pretty strong. Paimon too. Well, if that is truly the case, let us get straight to it. Allow me to introduce the trial for you. Simply put, in this trial, the candidate must help their squirrel companion fly in the right direction by guiding them along the wind currents. Don't worry, it isn't complicated. All you have to do is observe the direction of the currents and make decisions accordingly. Of course, you need not worry about the issue of direction. In this kingdom, no wind can stop me from flying wherever I will. Alright, let us begin. Please make sure you're both ready. Okay. Alright. Cool. Looks like we work well together. Your judgments are most precise. This is fun. Only Princess Semest, who possesses immense powers of flight, may go even against the current through the wind passage. Ordinary flying squirrels would be scared off by the flurry of floral fury unleashed. God. What? Oh. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, okay. Ahead lies the final trial. Prepare yourselves. Yay. Your Highness, you're amazing. You flew past so easily. Your ability to judge the wind's currents was also remarkable. It seems you are worthy to undergo the trial after all. Let us make haste to the site where the relic is being kept. Hopefully we won't have another run-in with that dragon. I am a voice, but not life. Huh? What was that? It sounded like someone's voice? Harley, did you hear that? I definitely heard it. Whoa, the princess is way ahead. Let's forget about that for now and catch up with her first. Time is uninhabitable and there is no place to stand within eternity. Eavesdrop quiet. Quiety? Your door is shut tight. You can faintly hear something from within. So this is where the relic was being kept. These footprints are massive. Perhaps in driving the dragon away, we also drove it into a rage. The relic is down there. Pass the trial and you may claim it. Paimon thought that the relic would be protected by some kind of seal, or guard, or something. But it looks like it's just lying there, and it doesn't seem like anything's stopping someone from just taking it. Just a hop and a step away. What you say is correct. This relic does indeed have a seal, namely the trial that you have seen. According to the kingdom's records, one must pass the trial in order to retrieve the relic. Conversely, if it is taken by someone who has not yet passed the trial, it will lose its meaning as a relic. Thus, even I must pass the entire trial to retrieve the true relic. There must be both a trial and a challenger to do so. Without satisfying these two conditions, the best case scenario is that we be walking away with a useless lump of stone. The best case scenario? Does that mean something worse could happen too? Those who act in defiance of the rules shall be cursed. Cursed? In that case, let's just go ahead and accept the trial. Okay. Oh shit. These motherfuckers. Yay. Perhaps those furious flowers over there could be of some use. What? Oh, okay. I hadn't expected you to be able to judge the wind currents so accurately. If you were flying squirrels like I am, navigating those wind currents would pose you no challenge, of that I am certain. Paimon's a natural when it comes to flying. Pfft, is that so? I'm glad to hear that, because you two are the most guardian-like candidates I've ever seen. Then let us continue. The current wind conditions are just right. No problem. Hehe, everything's going great. Maybe we're the guardians that Her Highness has been looking for. Your Highness was outstanding too. Thank you for your kind words. I had in fact passed the trial many times before the dragon destroyed the sacred site. Purely in terms of flying ability, I am confident that no other squirrel is my equal. Previous candidates found even the first few stages too difficult. Huh? But if your highness already passed the trial, how come you didn't take the relic? Unfortunately, the relic has yet to acknowledge me. So even guardians require the relic's acknowledgement? That I do not know. Perhaps it thought I didn't pass the trial. Surely there aren't hidden stages? All I know is the relic has never lit up for me. But you, not only have you come precisely at our kingdom's hour of need, but your capabilities are undeniable. That is why I believe you will earn the relic's acknowledgement. Let us continue. The final stage of the trial awaits. Oh, okay. No, that can't be it. It's got to start down here. Oh, look. Appears we have some uninvited guests. Might I trouble the two of you to kindly remove them from the premises? Should we indulge in their antics? I fear we were delayed in our task.
Transfixed.
Sorry, Caterpillar. Truly, you both are exceptionally skilled. Something's wrong with the furious flowers. I am dying from burning. Very well, then I shall complete this part on my own. Please stay vigilant to ensure that more unwanted guests do not invite themselves. There we go. Next we must accept the relic's judgment. We passed! Harley, we're guardians now! So is this the relic that's used to acknowledge new guardians? Huh? There's something carved onto it. Like a line of text, maybe? Let Paimon take a closer look. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Paimon doesn't get it. Do you get it, Harley? It's probably meant to encourage challenges. Those words have always been here. Even I do not know their origin. I sense that they may hold some great significance for the kingdom, but I have yet to grasp their meaning. I guess it's like... Yeah, like Teyvat has its own laws, right? And like the Samsaras, with the unfolding and cyclical patterns. Whatever the case, given your performance in the trial, you are undoubtedly the most suitable candidate for the title of Guardian that I've ever met. Your abilities and judgment are beyond question. Meeting you at a time like this is truly a blessing for our kingdom. Now that we have retrieved the relic, we may hold the ceremony right away. I am fully confident that your courage and abilities will have won you the relic's respect. You flatter me, Your Highness. It was nothing. We're just glad we could help you, Your Highness. Whoa, when did you guys get here? Paimon didn't even notice you arrive. We flew over, of course. We were among the best flyers around when we were young, you know. How else would we have been able to serve the princess? Never judge a squirrel by its appearance. Well, I never. A visitor turning up at our time of crisis, a guardian emerging from the trials victorious, and the relic in our possession, intact and unharmed. It looks like one of the stars from Animal Crossing. Your Highness, everything is exactly as the legend said. It seems that our kingdom finally has a future to look forward to. We shall find out soon enough. Now, please place your hand upon the relic. Let it light up and proclaim that you are henceforth the guardian of the kingdom. Unreconciled stars vibes true. Actually, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Squints. Do you think it's not bright enough? Let Paimon take a look. Eh? Maybe it's been so long that it just can't light up anymore? Kinda like how candles that have been lying around too long won't burn very brightly. How could that be? All the details match, yet the relic's still... Your Highness, whatever the case, at least the relic is in our hands, even if our guest has failed to be acknowledged by... No. Your Highness? Place the relic to one side. It is my kingdom for which the challenges have come. Therefore it is I who must acknowledge them. Your Highness, but no ruler of our kingdom has ever taken it upon themselves to acknowledge a guardian. Then let us create a precedent for future rulers to follow. Harley, Paimon, come forward. As Princess of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, I hereby declare that Harley and Paimon shall henceforth be recognized as the kingdom's paladins of breezes and bells. At your service, your Highness. Hooray! A paladin of breezes and bells. Such a cool title. Definitely cooler than just being any old guardian. But surely that means we still haven't found our guardian. And if that is so, then we won't be able to fulfill our calling. And if we cannot fulfill our calling, we'll no longer have a future to look forward to, just like the kingdoms that came before us. Fret not, I will find a way. Shouldst thou require my aid, I am at thy service. My thanks, good paladin, I will indeed need your help. But first, I will need to put the pieces of this puzzle together. After some time has passed, please return to my kingdom to meet me. When the time is nigh, we shall set forth in search of this kingdom's future together. Well done, my fine hind-legged ladies and gentlemen. Well done indeed. The jumping contest is on fire! Just a moment ago, we saw Estamp the Fearless show his awesome might. With his impressive, epic strength, he's made a stable yet distant leap, one worthy of a favourite to take gold. But next up, we have the one you've all been waiting for, the unequalled, the unrivaled, the unparalleled, Farube! Who will emerge as champion and win the great honour and burden of fetching the princess? They want to fetch the princess? Wait a minute. So the one princess Asimes was looking for was... that's gotta be a coincidence, right? But if that's the case, then this should save her a whole lot of effort. Guess we've done our duty as the paladins of breezes and bells too, huh? In any case, let's check the situation out first. That's right, let's stay focused and keep our eyes peeled. Before the final round begins, let us take a short break and give our two contestants time to rest. For the time being, the competition venue will be open to you all, so go forth and jump to your heart's content. That is what the Rain Song Pond is here for, after all. Hopper of Unyielding Heights. Much anticipated champion frontrunner, first referee. Farubert, I know how nervous you are right now, but this is the final match that every frog has been looking forward to. I'm sorry, Mr. Aurelio, but I... Please don't blame... Or is it Oreo? Oreo? I'm overthinking this. Please don't blame him, sir. Give him a moment to rest. After all, Frère Robert, I'm sure you need some time to think about how you shall pleasantly surprise us all. Estamp, you're good enough. I think... Oh, save it, friend. You will no doubt set a new record in just a moment. Trust me. Rolo. For now, just rest. You need time. Alright, you're right, my friend. I need some time. Greetings, honoured guests. You don't seem like frogs. Well, that's where looks would be deceiving. Nonetheless, welcome to Rainsong Pond. May your legs be limber. Tell me about the competition. As you have seen and heard, this contest is to decide the frog who's best at jumping. Our contestants go through the qualifiers, group matches, and elimination matches, and only those who make it through all these can reach the finals. That, sounds kinda complicated. It's not complicated at all. Simply step into the arena and clear the challenges that lie before you. Dear guests, if it suits your fancy, you can also try out the bouncing contest here. This is meant to test the contestant's speed and stability when jumping. I was just about to do some practice here, then take part in the next contest. But my skills aren't exactly up to par. I can't jump well enough on my own. Would you two be willing to assist me? I'm not the best jumper ever. Paimon can fly, so she doesn't have much use for jumping. You've got the wrong end of the stick. It's not about being good or not, it's whether you need to jump or not. The word contest is the key. It is the spirit of competition itself that keeps us lively and spry. So come, dear guests. You'll enjoy the bouncing contest too, I guarantee it. Almost there. This game is pretty fun, don't you think? Paimon wants to give it a try too. Then be my guest. Paimon composes as if she's jumping in the air, you know? It's pretty much the same anyway. I knew you'd enjoy the bouncing contest. But just now, that was just a game. This is a long way off from a real contest. Only the very best of the best of us can take part in the latter. And this contest will decide who is best suited to rescue the princess. It's just so exciting. Oh, sorry, dear guests. My apologies. I just can't help but ramble on about Furry. After all, the whole reason we've organised so many contests was to choose the paper frog with the steadiest, furthest, most awe-inspiring jump so that they could go rescue the princess. There's still some time before the final match begins, so feel free to take a look around. Oreo will use his booming voice to remind us when the competition is about to begin, so listen out for it and make sure you find good seats. Furry will surely win the finals. I believe in him. Welcome, dear guests. I presume you are also here to watch the competition? Welcome, in any case, to Rainsong Pond. You have come at the right time, but also perhaps the wrong one. The competition is coming to a close, with only the final, the result of which is already beyond doubt, left to take place. I'm sure you have heard of Furry and Estomp. They are both leading exponents? Exponents? Shouldn't it be experts? They are both leading exponents in the art of jumping, but in my experience, Furry is sure to win. Furry is far better at all this than all the other paper frogs, and has won countless championships as a result. He is therefore the undisputed favourite. He has the strongest legs, the most agile mind, the most resolute spirit. Most importantly, he constantly seeks to share his know-how with all the other frogs. Estomp is, like me, one of the paper frogs who learned by watching him. We respect, trust, and believe that he will once again achieve great success. Before the final begins, I'd like to stay and practice a little longer to prepare for the next round of competitions. If you do not mind, we could practice together. Perhaps you might even come up with some good ideas to help me jump all the better. So after choosing the paper frog who will save the princess, will you still organise these contests? Of course, this is not just about rescuing the princess. Most important is the contest itself, and what it teaches us. Self-belief, resolve, bravery. Only a paper frog who understands and embodies such virtues will emerge as our champion. Come then, dear guests. Let's see if you can feel the virtue inherent in our contest.
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
Yay. Not bad. You're quite good at this. If you have time, I'd be willing to recommend you to the organising committee. The next time we hold this competition, we'll be able to measure ourselves against one another. Still, I shan't take up more of your time until then. The final is about to begin. Guess we'll just have to see how good this Furry guy is. He'll blow your socks off for sure. Still, he did seem a bit nervous when I saw him recently. He was constantly practicing the most basic moves, and then getting annoyed at how he was performing them. But these are the finals. It's normal to get nervous, right? A bit of nerves are to be expected. That's what I thought, but no, I still believe in him. He's not the type to give in so easily. I've got to keep practicing myself. If you'd like, dear guests, please feel free to have a look around. The finals are about to begin though, so be sure you don't miss them. And here it is, here it comes. My fine hind-legged ladies and gentlemen, the unparalleled Furry steps forward to make his leap. And he jumped 3 lotus leaves and fell into the water. It seems we have a champion. The one who will welcome our princess is a Stumpy. Congratulations to our... No, Mr. Oreo, I protest. This is ridiculous. Absurd even. I shall not accept the title of champion in this manner. Goodness gracious, by the morning dew! Come now, you surpassed Furry in front of all frog kind. Furry slipped up, that's all. He's just not in good form, you know? That will not convince me, nor any other paper frogs. Anyway, let's give Furry a moment to himself. We'll continue this later. It seems we have guests. Welcome to Rain Song Pond. What can I help you with? What's this competition about? As you can see, it is a jumping contest. Only the most legendary leaper may take the crown, thus earning the great burden of rescuing the princess. This is why we organise so many contests. I imagine that you saw the frog who just made his leap. That was Furrybear, one of our contestants, and the greatest jumper in all the pond. Or he used to be anyway. Huh, sounds pretty cool. Shame we seem to have missed it all though. What a shame, you'd have done so well too, Paimon. Why Paimon? Flying doesn't normally involve much bouncing, you know. Flying's faster than jumping. It'll be an easy win for you. But wouldn't that be cheating? You're supposed to use your legs to jump. If one of us had to take part, it'd have to be you. Still, Paimon's never seen you jump that far before. Except when you were running away from monsters. In that case, you'd do well to ask our champion over here for some advice. My apologies, dear guests, and Mr. Oreo too, but I said it before and I said it again. I'll say it again. I'm no champion. But as surely as the Lotus stem stand, according to the rules, you are the champion. I'll be the judge of that, thank you very much. This contest is meant to pick the best of us, the most skilled of jumpers, to go save our princess. This is a matter of the honour of all frog kind. And Furrybear is the very best of us. You know this, all of us do. So Furrybear was really that impressive? Oh, we've heard a lot of other paper frogs talking about him. Is everything they say about him true? That's right, Furrybear was the best frog in our pond. He could easily bound all the way across 12 lotus leaves and land on the 13th, and he'd land so lightly that the dew upon the leaf would not be disturbed. He could even jump between lotus leaves amidst a flowing river and not fall into the water, no matter how fierce the current. So I'm guessing he's not in good form right now? Yeah, he seems kinda down. He looked super sad when he was leaving just now too. He's just having a temporary rough patch. That's the only reason he made that mistake. Please, Mr. Oreo, for the sake of the contest and the sake of our calling, I'd like to ask for a rematch. If you deem it necessary, you can consult the opinion of all the other frogs. I'm sure they'll concur. Listen, Estomp, I know you're a capital fellow, sharp-minded, and upstanding to boot. But did you not see how Furrybear was faring? He left without even attempting to make another leap. I'll speak with him. We've trained together all this time, so I know how he feels. He'll understand. For the love of lotus leaves and lucent dew. Alright, I'll go with you to meet Furrybear. We'll come along too. We're really good at encouraging people. And we're great jumpers too. Have you been secretly training behind Paimon's back or something? I'm just good at making others jump. A long way away. Both humorous and polite. Thank you for your goodwill. In that case, let's go together. With any luck, that good humour of yours might soothe his sore spirit. Pond, protect us. I wonder which shall serve us better, the soft or hard approach. Poor Furrybear. We've squashed that poor froggy flat under the weight of our expectations. If you ask me, winning all the time does a frog no good. The tallest lotus head always breaks first, as they say. He's here. There you are. The award ceremony is over then? Just the opposite, in fact. Both Mr. Oreo and I are of the opinion that things are far from over. Indeed, I hereby announce, in my capacity as referee, that you, Mr. Furrybear, have one more chance to jump. To maintain the fairness of this competition, and to fulfill our duty to the calling, you must do a re-jump. Dear Mr. Oreo, I, as a contestant, cite the competition rules pertaining to competitive behaviour that may bring harm to oneself and one's tribe. I forfeit my second jump attempt. I do not want to disappoint everyone again, nor bring ruin to our calling. This is the only truly responsible course of action. Wow, what a professional answer. He even had the specific clauses handy. He even gave it a touch of emotional appeal. Alright, looks like playing hardball isn't going to work. I'll loosen you in lotus leaves. But you haven't left the venue. I don't understand what you mean to say, dear guest. If you really wanted to give up, you wouldn't have stayed here. That's true. You can see everything that's going on in the long-distance jumping contest from here. If he really had given up and no longer wanted to have anything to do with the contest, why would he stay? I don't wish to talk about this anymore. I believe I've been clear. Sorry, Estomp, and our two guests as well. Damn. He didn't even wait for Paimon to finish speaking to hop away. Hold, Furrybear. For the pond's sake, You too should hold Mr. Aston. I have an idea. So tiring. Hang on a moment. Is there anything else I can help you with, dear guests? You saw the terrible state I was in. I admit, I mostly knew what you were going to say the moment I saw you arriving with Aston. My answer is no, and so it will always be. Look at my ankles. They are not ankles that can carry such a heavy burden. Not ones that can save a princess. They look like pretty sturdy ankles to me. Yeah, Paimon hasn't either. But I made a mistake. No, I have been making mistakes all along. I'm sorry, you two, but I cannot continue competing. This links into what they were saying before about making mistakes. Hey, don't go! We just want to tell you one thing. One last thing. All frogs make mistakes. Good guest, you do not understand. I initially believed that mistakes were mere drops of dew that fall upon our heads. Nothing that could truly knock a froggy down. But I was wrong. Perhaps they were never mere drops, but rather more akin to rocks at the bottom of a pond, withered wood stuck into the waterbed, or a vent hidden within the muck. Among Us. We can overlook them, bury them, step over them, or pretend they don't exist. But they will not rest, my friend. They will await their opportunity for a chance to come back to bite you. Please go, and let me go too. I am nothing but a mere lotus head who has had all its seeds removed. Even a light breeze would surge through the many holes in my heart and chill me to the bone. I cannot take up this great burden. This is the voice of my heart. I have let all frogs down, including myself. You still have a retry, you know. Yeah, you've got another chance to prove yourself. I do not wish to taste the bitter pang of failure once more. My legs and my heart cannot. Whoa, this lotus leaf is moving all of a sudden. What's going on? What? But it should have been fixed in place. No, it's moving forward. Please stand firm, dear guests. I will steer it as best I can. Where this? Oh! Sleeves dropping all over the place. I pressed the wrong button. Watch out for the water pillars. This lotus leaf won't withstand the impact. Don't worry, it's only a short course, and there'll be frogs at the end to stop the leaf. Phew, this has got to be the end. What a close call. Good thing you were here with us. I've trained here before, so I'm pretty used to it. Alright, we'll soon reach the end. Wait, there's two frogs on the shore. Are they the leaf got knocked away again! Looks like we won't be able to reach the shore for now. Just like this. Not like that. I can't control it. Stop freaking out. You're the only one here who's in chance of controlling this lotus leaf. Something about it's not going to capsize. Whee. Oh, this is the purpose of this.
Subscribe for free.
Hi, Clever. Thank you so much for the fucking sub. The card feels like it's getting faster. Looks like I'm the only one who can control it. Leave it to me, everyone. Hold on tight. Oh my god. Hype train? What the fuck? Stella. Nope, Stella. Ooh. Whoa. Would you look at that? Firebear the unyielding. Firebear the bold. He seized the opportunity for a retry. And a spectacular leap. Spectacular indeed. This is a miracle without precedent. He is the only paper frog ever to leap across this precipice. I knew you had it in you, Firebear. I believed in you. The lotus leaf that suddenly started moving. That was your doing, wasn't it? It was something that Mr. Oreo and I came up with together. I apologize, dear guests, for hiding this from you. Well, it was certainly exciting. Alright then, Firebear. Now that everyone has witnessed your great leap, you no longer have any reason to reject the victor's crown. But it was a coincidence, a miracle born of circumstances. Just one fluke leap. It was only with the aid of these two guests that I was able to do it at all. I'll be honest, we were just having fun drifting alongside you. Exactly, we were just watching from the sidelines. That big jump was all you. Still, our work wasn't in vain. Right? It would have been a waste to stand by and watch such a brilliant frog give up like that. You love it so much, and you trained so hard for so long. It would have been awful if you'd just given up. A tragedy for you and frogkind. Honoured guests, truly your hearts are purer than the first drop of morning dew. I am sorry, my friend, to have done you such an injustice. You should have been the winner of that match. Ah, come now. You proved that you were the best of us, did you not? Please, listen to me. We have many competitions ahead of us, and I will gladly compete with you 100, 1,000 times more. But this time, we must put our best frog forward to fetch the princess. That is our calling, and the future of Rainsong Pond rests upon it. As such, there is no room for error. Do you understand me? I do. Good, Furry Bear. That's wonderful. Well, this all seems to have turned out great. We have ourselves a real champion now, don't we? Next up, our champion shall go rescue the princess, and then our calling will be complete. About that princess of yours. Yeah, so, you've said a whole bunch about this princess of yours. Fetch her this, best frog that. Now everything's ready, do you actually know where the princess is? Of course. We're about to go receive and rescue her, for she lives in a tower made of vines and giant trees. Only the bravest, boldest, most jumpiest of frogs may evade the thorns and deep mist, leaping atop the tower to deliver the princess from her cage. Princess? You don't mean the one in the forest, do you? That's right. We met a princess previously when we went to the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells. She does indeed live in a very, very tall tower, and she even has a trial to select guardians. But she can fly herself, so Paimon doesn't really think she needs saving. And she's selecting her own guardians. Really? Wonderful! That's wonderful! That said, I didn't expect her to be able to fly. Well, that's wonderful. Then I shan't have to go all the way out there, just to mess up such an important task. Bro. In any case, I must confess to being a little tired. Having just jumped so far, I must rest. Hold, friend. I say hold! Ah, dewdrops above. You shall not escape from this matter. Mr. Oreo, I believe that we should travel to the kingdom regardless to see what is happening. You may be right, but this is quite strange. The princess does live in a high tower, and yet she needs no frog to save her. Estomp, Furry Bear, it seems that we must speak to that princess. Well then, dear guests, please lead the way. Princess Ines asked us to come meet her again after some time had passed so we could set forth. Paimon wonders if she's not a hero that the relic would acknowledge yet. Let's go pay her a visit. So we're all completely stumped. Looks like I'm here now too. Oh, it's you! Such a relief that you've come. Thank you for coming, my honourable paladin. You seem to have run into a rather peculiar problem. Peculiar problem? Oh no, don't tell Paimon that the relic hasn't acknowledged Mr. Furry Bear either. If the problem was only that I hadn't been acknowledged as guardian, that would actually be simpler. How to put this? Mr. Furry Bear is indeed the champion jumper. That much is indisputable. But the trial he passed was Rainsong Pond's jumping contest, and when he was acknowledged as champion, it was a committee that declared him so. It is true that Her Highness resides in a tall tower, and that in this kingdom does indeed have this own series of arduous trials. But she clearly isn't trapped, much less needs me to jump up and rescue her. And those trials, no matter how good I was at jumping, I'd never be able to pass them. They just aren't designed for paper frogs. But the details just didn't work out. What are we to do if we can't complete our calling? You keep talking about this calling of yours, and Mr. Furry Bear mentioned it too. What exactly is it? If you hadn't found the guardian and princess you're looking for, why don't you just keep looking? Even if you don't find them right this instant, it's not like this place is going to vanish into thin air. Our kingdom exists for its calling. It is also the only way we can save it. Likewise, the residents of Rainsong Pond have sacrificed so much, and are continuing to sacrifice, for that princess who's nowhere to be found. Generation after generation of champions have quietly aged away, all memory of their deeds fading away into oblivion. Mr. Oreo has spoken of these brave ones before. Weighed down by the burden of unrealized ambition, they are left with no other choice but to end their days in obscurity. Such a fate is crueler than the fall of a kingdom. This feels... lore-y. You know? Want to crackle it like plastic. Furry Bear, we talked about this before. You said you were going to reconsider, and now? We must have faith in our champion. If I were perched on a lotus leaf and suddenly found myself drifting away with the current, I would do my best to make sure it didn't capsize in the middle of the river. Now that I carry the lotus head bangle, I will not. I cannot shirk my duty. This has nothing to do with courage, Mr. Oreo, just duty. Paimon knew our lotus leaf rafting experience wasn't a complete waste of time. Oh, so true. Spoken like a true champion. But if I do end up going overboard, you'll have to call for a stomp. He'd definitely be better at this than I am. He's the real champion when it comes down to it, so why have I ended up being the one on the Lotus leaf? Looks like we still have to go rafting a few more times. You sure are one unique champion. No matter how hard you try, you're always convinced you're going to fail. You really needn't worry. After all, not only did you come here entirely of your own accord, but you had the courage to shoulder a great responsibility. You were brave enough to make a choice and boldly follow through with it. At least in my eyes, you're no less than any flying squirrel. Your Highness, thank you for your praise and for your trust. Besides, I'm already on this Lotus leaf, so I can't get off now anyway. Well, anyway, now that we have the backing of so many strong fighters, I think it's high time we headed into the Cave of Eerie Murmurs to see what lurks in its depths. Samon, Sufash, there's no use trying to stop me. After all, when have you ever succeeded in holding me back? Come on, lighten up. This is the last clue we need to save the kingdom. But not a single princess that's gone into the Cave of Eerie Murmurs has ever come back out again. If there's nothing in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs, what does it matter whether I return or not? But on the other hand, if there really is a clue to the salvation of the kingdom in there, then even if I were to be trapped inside, that wouldn't be such a bad thing, would it? What kind of place is this Cave of Eerie Murmurs anyway? And why does your Highness sound so serious? Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Simply put, it's where those princesses of past kingdoms search for the answer. This... This... I don't know what I'm doing. This feels lore-y. This feels... Well, this reminds me of Honkai, first of all. With the, like, the different eras. The things that the people would do to try and figure out the answer to fighting the Honkai. I feel like it's like Kanria, Fate of the World, Loom of Fate, like... But even until the day their kingdoms vanished utterly, those princesses were never seen again. Huh? By never seen again, surely you don't mean... The cave swallowed them alive? There isn't a single flying squirrel that knows, but we'll find out soon enough. To be safe, I'll bring the relic along with us. Who knows, it might just come in handy. Alright everyone, let's go. Given that one of you is an expert flyer, and the other a champion jumper, I trust you'll both be able to keep up with me. The fact that this is like an Omental fruit makes me think that it's currently a masterless fate, like it's a masterless constellation, and it's like the equivalent of like a vision, right? And it just hasn't found its master yet. Whoever's fate it is, it hasn't been activated yet. It hasn't found the person whose fate it is. That's what I'm getting from it. Vision is pigeon. Close enough. Whoa, Her Highness has flown off already. Let's catch up, Harley. Honourable Guardian, what can I do for you? About the kingdoms that failed to fulfill their calling. Alright. Since the princess herself has acknowledged you as the paladin of breezes and bells, it is only right that I tell you about such matters. Prior to the current era of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, this land has known many kingdoms. This is Honkai. This is absolutely Honkai. Just like us, their calling was to find a guardian of the kingdom who would be acknowledged by the relic. But these kingdoms, which were established to fulfill a calling, declined and vanished before they could fulfill it. This is fucking Honkai. Not a single one of them managed to find a guardian who could save the whole kingdom. Vanished? So, if you can't fulfill this calling of yours, something bad will happen? That is correct. In some cases, the subjects of the kingdom suddenly lost their voices. You're so Honkai-filled, I so am. My brain is going brrr. Sorry, I'm offended. That is correct. In some cases, the subjects of the kingdom suddenly lost their voices, while in others, the kingdom's water supply dried up overnight. Having lost their future, all of these kingdoms eventually faded into oblivion. If we cannot fulfill our calling, this will be our fate too. In any case, I wish you good luck, Paladin. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Seems you're a popular one indeed. Even Her Highness Princess Semest knows of you. What do you mean, honor to... We've met! About the price paid by Rainsong Pond. Oh, such a heavy topic. Well, seeing as you've asked, it would be rude not to give you an answer. Oh, but everything seems fine over at Rainsong Pond. You all look so happy to be jumping around and taking part in the contest. In one sense, that is so. The waters of Rainsong Pond have never dried up, and the contest has never been interrupted. Each committee working tirelessly away, and each contestant training constantly, doing everything they can to be up to the task of saving the princess someday. But all those paper frogs, endlessly labouring, they are the price that Rainsong Pond has paid. From the moment we are born, our calling is to practice jumping and save the princess. Every aspect of life at Rainsong Pond revolves around this. Yeah, this reminds me of the Valkyries. Innumerable paper frogs have sat on Rainsong Pond's committee, and countless champions have been chosen. Also, wait, the math is mathing. This is going to be the theme of Natlan. The contest. The contest is to choose a champion who can do something to rescue someone. But all this time, we've never managed to find our princess. Generation upon generation of frustrated champions have thus aged away, not knowing how to fulfill the calling that they so cherished. All they can do is watch helplessly as their once powerful legs grow weak and their fine webbed feet gradually wither away. And worst of all, because our champions keep aging, we must constantly train new ones to ensure that we have the strongest paper frogs ready at all times, should the princess suddenly appear. So Rainsong Pond's contest continues without any sign of an ending. Yet now, none remember the names of those champions who, though they too once cherished the calling, ended up aging away in helpless impotence. As Princess Semeste puts it, weighed down by the burden of unrealized ambition, they are left with no other choice but to end their days in obscurity. Such a fate is crueler than the fall of a kingdom. That also reminds me of the Hilly Churls. Like, they have to end their days in obscurity because they cannot be absorbed into the ley lines. Actually, that's a good point. Because they cannot be absorbed into the ley lines, their fate is tied to a different... Their fate is not tied to Irminsul. So they are already tied to a different loom of fate. But that's enough about all that. The atmosphere is suddenly feeling rather heavy. Let us place our trust in Faribear and Princess Semeste. I'm sure they'll be able to do something about it. Wait, where's the Stomp? Oh, that good fellow? He said he was going for a stroll to get some fresh air. Perhaps he's practicing his diving as we speak. If only a Stomp could share some of his relaxed mindset with Faribear. Even a fifth of it would do. Didn't the princess take us to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs before? Paimon's sure she'd heard a strange voice while we were there. Just to let you guys know, us paper frogs aren't very good at jumping in caves. Don't worry, Mr. Faribear. Paimon might have just been hearing things. I am a voice, but a voice is not life. Interaction is only born of contradictions, and only interaction is dialogue. There it is again! Do not fear, these voices will not harm us. They are simply lamenting their own past.
Lament!
Are these the princesses' voices? To be precise, both princesses and princes. What they have in common is, they are all voices from fallen kingdoms. They came in search of answers, but found nothing. All they could do was stay and lament their fate in vain. Reminds me of Remuria. You know this place well. You show great intuition, as one would expect of a paladin. That is correct. I have come here often since my accession. After all, compared to all those princesses and princes from the past, there's nothing special about me at all. It was wishful thinking indeed for me to have imagined that a miracle might suddenly happen, and that I'd find our true guardian just like that. But for the sake of my kingdom, I had to keep searching for a way to fulfill my calling. I could not simply stand by and watch it fade away. So I looked everywhere, but found nothing. Finally, though, I narrowed down my search to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. But because this cave has never been thoroughly investigated, and so as not to drive Saborn and Sufash sick with worry or cause their voices to go hoarse, I have never entered the Cave of Eerie Murmurs myself. Now, for the future of the kingdom and all our aged champions, I have no choice but to go in. Don't be afraid, Your Highness. Not only do you have the super strong Harley and the champion jumper Mr. Faribear to back you up, but also the, seasoned floater Paimon too. No matter what happens, we'll make sure you stay safe. Right, Harley? Mr. Faribear? Leave it all to me. We've, got your back, I think? I mean, we've hopefully got your back. Seriously, caves really aren't designed for jumping in. It's alright, Mr. Champion. We still have plenty of time to prepare. After all, we need to figure out how to get into this cave first. Oh. Huh? Oh, okay. The door opened? And come everyone, let us enter. It's so chilly around here. Such a strange vibe. Paimon's just glad we haven't seen anything weird. Wait a sec, what's that carved on the wall over there? It looks like a story? What's it about? After setting up the trial herself, the princess awaited her guardian within the kingdom. I think I recall this story from the kingdom's records. In the legend, it is said that despite the passing of much time, still there came no sign of a guardian, and it seemed that the kingdom's resources would soon run dry. The princess, whose name was Sioa, therefore made a decision. She let the kingdom's people fall into a deep slumber and sealed off all its land except the tower, where she alone remained to await the coming of the guardian. What became of this princess? The guardian that she awaited never came. In the end, she is said to have come to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs alone, then vanished from the world without a trace. It is true that this princess showed great courage, but I cannot say that I agree with her approach. As I see it, by deciding to simply wait there while her people slept in blissful ignorance, she consigned her kingdom to an unknown fate. Instead, she should have taken the initiative by calling upon her people to unite as one, seeking out this guardian together. If she had done this, even if all their efforts had turned out to be in vain, at least she would have known that she'd done all she could. It's just as the last line of the story says. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Your Highness, it hasn't come to that yet. Yeah, come on, there's still hope. And who knows, there might be some important clues left for us to find. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away. Anyway, let's keep searching. Looking around, it seems like we haven't completed the trials in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs yet. Being in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs feels completely different from how Paimon imagined it. Stay on your guard, everyone. Let's proceed slowly. A system for saying goodbye. It's so glaringly obvious. Irritating thing is that it is both reasonable and obvious. Lotus leaves and dewdrops. What the? Why has this story been carved on the wall? What is it? Someone's carved a story here that goes, once upon a time, there was a paper frog who wished he had a pair of wings. He prayed to the goddess, who told him that if he could jump higher than all the other frogs, he would have his wings. Wait a sec. If he could already jump higher than all the other frogs, why would he need wings? Maybe it's just hyperbole. No, this champion's name is actually recorded in the committee's register. This paper frog, whose name was Sabralis, once won the championship 7 times in a row. No frog was his equal. His symbol was a pair of wings made of lotus leaves, so they dubbed him Winged Sabralis. 7 times in a row? Paimon heard you won the championship many times in a row too, Mr. Farabear. Me? Yes, I've won it 7 times, and it's stomped 6. But I'd be no match for this champion. Back in those days, they had to figure it all out themselves, without any experience to go on. If my generation of frogs have jumped higher than others, it is merely by jumping up from the shoulders of giants. There he goes again, putting himself down as usual. So what happened to that champion? This I do not know. According to the committee's records, in the last jumping contest he ever took part in, Sabralis came second. Second? So that means... Indeed it does. Given that he no longer felt up to the task of rescuing the princess, Sabralis announced his retirement there and then. He told his friend that the jumping contest no longer held any meaning for him, and that unless he rediscovered its meaning someday, he would never again compete. From that day forth, not once was his name ever again mentioned in the records of Rainsong Pond. So just like those princes and princesses, there was a point in time after which this champion simply vanished from the world. That's right. All in all, this story really doesn't seem like a promising omen. Hold on a minute. The last line of this story is also, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Yeah, so it's like history is repeating itself. Why does this line keep reappearing? Because history is repeating itself. We'd better complete the rest of the trials first. Yes, you're right. Let's focus on the puzzle before us. I wonder where it will lead us in the end. What's all this in here? Looks like this cave has no intention of just giving us the answers, but rather plans on testing us instead. The road to success is never straight, huh? No, it's gay. Another trial. Let's do this. Thank you. Then let's go take a look at this final trial. Oh. Oh, fuck. Nice. Wait. Oh, did I fuck up? Wait! Ah! Oh! Hope Princess Semester will be able to fly a bit more easily. Hell yeah. No, fuck. Looks like we make a great team, Mr. Champion and my honorable paladin. I'm just glad I didn't drag you all down. Huh? When did these candles light up? Weird. Yay! That must mean we've passed this trial, huh? That all went pretty smoothly. Who's Queen of Trials now? That's right, this gal. You're in such good shape. If only I was as talented as you are. Huh? Did you hear that? Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Once upon a time, there was a paper frog who wished he had a pair of wings. He prayed to the goddess, who told him that if he could jump higher than all the other frogs, he would have his wings. Long ago, there was a princess who personally set up a trial in the kingdom. She waited and waited and waited. Oh, guardian, where art thou? Eek! The paper's talking! That's not really that weird. Another paper frog, just like me. Another useless champion, squandered years, and a pair of worthless, withered wings. But wait, surely you can't be... I am an evaporated dewdrop, a pair of wings too weak for flight. The name Sobralis is no longer one I am fit to bear. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Highness, Princess Sioya. It is an honor to meet you too, Your Highness. You, yet another stranger, another princess. So, Paimon's guessing they're the champion and princess mentioned in the story on the wall. They just look like two manuscripts. That's what they turned into. Because they're stories and paper. It is an honor to meet you both. You have resided in this cave for a long time now, so you should know why we are here. Your Highness, have you found the answer you were looking for? Where is the guardian we are looking for? Great champion, where is the princess that us paper frogs are supposed to save? You should go back. There are no answers here, only question after question. No river awaits, and the lotus leaves do not exist for us. The pond has never seen Victory's laurel, nor a princess. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns. Such a futile expectation. When will the cycle end? When one of you motherfuckers does something about it? Keep waiting. Keep waiting. There are no answers here, only question after question. The pen that wrote these words has not alighted back upon the page, yet the ink of fate has long dried up. Neither the guardian nor the period that marks the end shall appear. Thus it has always been, until now. But each should follow its own course. This is destiny's inexplicable hope. When will the path ahead reveal itself? What are they talking about? Paimon doesn't get it. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound too promising. Huh? But why? No river awaits, and the lotus leaves do not exist for us. That makes it sound like Rainsong Pond is already... Neither the guardian nor the period that marks the end shall appear. Anyway, we shouldn't jump to conclusions too soon. We haven't even completed the trial yet. Alright, giving up before the contest has even ended seems like bad etiquette indeed. Let's take care of the trials first. Yeah, let's stay positive. Maybe there'll be a pleasant surprise waiting for us. Oh, okay, yeah, we have to drop water spout. You gonna... try the drum over here. Drop water spout. Nice. Okay. Oh wait, I have to go over here. I see. Well, seems like we passed all the trials, right? But nothing seems to have happened. I brought the relic, but it hasn't reacted at all. Are we really meant to just keep waiting here? But what exactly are we waiting for? It's not like some kind of god's gonna suddenly swoop down and tell us what to do, is it? What we are willing to do is wait. All we can do is wait. Meaning lies in waiting. The future lies unknown. When did they appear? And insisting that we wait like that. What are we even waiting for? Perhaps they do not know either, which is why they've been waiting all this time. We are echoes with nowhere to return, existences that do not exist, unfinished chapters of blank paper, as are you. Together, let us go back to where we belong. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns. Each follows its own course. Hey you, piles of rotten paper. Why do you just keep telling us to wait? Yeah, it's very, like, nihilistic. They've given up. Waiting will get us nowhere. So that's it. I knew I wasn't in the wrong place. Your Highness Princess Sioya, I have my answer. To the rest of you, it is time for us to part ways. Thank you all for everything you have done. Now it is clear to me that the answer lies not in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. When I first arrived, I was afraid I would have to pay a heavy price to find a way to save the kingdom here. In the end, the Cave of Eerie Murmurs holds nothing more than a pile of old manuscripts deceiving themselves by waiting. It is a great relief to know that hope still lies elsewhere. The future lies unknown, meaning lies in waiting. No, Your Highness, meaning lies in the unknown. Waiting leads only to waiting. I most certainly will not save the kingdom using such a method. If the Guardian does not come, I will go in search of them. If I cannot find them in my kingdom, I will search the rest of the world instead. If they are not to be found in this world, then I shall keep searching beyond it. Even if my kingdom is destined to fall, I wish to witness its final moments, when its ending is written. Such blindness, such impetuosity, such frivolity, such ignorance, such superficiality, such impatience. Say what you will, but as you yourselves just put it, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. If your path lies here in endless waiting, then mine lies instead on the road ahead. Can I say something? If you were to deem it acceptable, I would like to go along with Your Highness too. Wow, someone seems pretty motivated all of a sudden. After all, if I could help Your Highness find your guardian, that could also be interpreted as saving the princess. I am the champion of Rainsong Pond. Even if I do it for Rainsong Pond, I must continue to fulfill my duty. If you are willing to help, then on behalf of the entire Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, I thank you. That is most alright. I will, of course, still have to ask the committee's opinion, especially Oreo and Estomp. As you know, I always seem to cause trouble. Our champion of champions. Great, so what's Huh? Your Highness! The relic next to you! It's lighting up! Oh, it's courage. It's the courage to go forth. You started flying just like the... Huh? How come the relic suddenly lit up? So that's what each should follow its own course meant. Her Highness seems to have figured something out that Paimon hasn't. Sounds to me like it's saying we first need to find a Lotus leaf of our own, then drift along it downriver. But has the owner of this relic ever considered what would happen if we fell into the water en route? We just have to climb back out again and prove our courage by overcoming adversity, just like you did in the past. Did I? Thank you for your kindness, Your Highness, but I believed all I proved was that I'm not made for competing. Her Highness! It's Her Highness! Hello! Look, Her Highness is flying along with a bunch of people, and frogs. Do you think she's found the Guardian? Look, our relic is shining up ahead. Our Guardian is coming. That's wonderful news. We can finally fly around without having to worry. Hope lies ahead, our future lies outside. Meaning lies beyond the end of the sentence. Courage lies in dialogue, survival in returning, meaning in seeking. Hey, isn't that our champion? Hey, Farabear! Farabear is flying! He's incredible! He got his wings. Look over here, Mr. Champion. Give us a wave with your champion feet. The good fellow's blushing. Let's not embarrass him any longer. Bon voyage, Farabear. Oh, so that's what happens. Fascinating. Welcome back, Jason. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Farewell, may all of you find your own way forward. Farewell. This is cool. Oh, my leg. Is it still on the ground? I can barely feel it anymore. All 4 of your feet are still firmly on the ground, Mr. Champion. Those princesses from the past, they seem to have left too. I hope that they'll never return to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. Seems our trip to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs wasn't for nothing after all. With the relic lit up, there's hope for your Highness's kingdom again. That is indeed so. The fact that the relic has lit up means that it has found a guardian worthy of acknowledgement. It seems that the guardian that the relic was looking for was not a valiant warrior in the usual sense. A true guardian who is worthy of acknowledgement is one who always follows their heart, someone who pushes forward relentlessly, in spite of their fear. It turns out this relic, which we've been treating like the problem, was actually the answer all along. Those manuscripts that were waiting in the cave. They've been waiting for their path to appear, waiting all this time. But you've got to go out and chase it. But waiting leads only to more waiting. No one can find the solution to a problem simply by searching within the problem itself. Like, you wouldn't be able to pick a leaf from a tree if you were standing on the leaf itself. Sounds complicated. Paimon's feeling dizzy now. Anyway, none of them were acknowledged by the relic as guardians. Your Highness and Mr. Farabear were, though. So now the relic is lit up and we found our guardian. Doesn't that mean that the problem's solved, Your Highness? Well, you could say that, but I still haven't managed to figure out exactly why it lit up. Looks like Saborn and Sufash will be doing some more research for me. Oh, and now that the Guardian's been chosen, doesn't that mean that the relic's trial has lost its meaning too? It'd be a shame to tear it all down. No, I will keep the trial in place, but it will now be used to train Guardians rather than to choose them. If every flying squirrel were to become a Guardian someday, then no matter what difficulties the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells faced, we could overcome them together. I've been wanting to do this for a long, long time. Just a pity that the relic refused to light up sooner, and that Saborn and Sufash stood in my way. Now that I've been acknowledged by the relic, I shall do whatever I wish. That's why you're the princess, Your Highness. No. Her Highness's title should now be Guardian Princess of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells. So, Your Highness, would it be alright if I, took part in the training in your kingdom? But you're already the champion. No. Didn't you hear that sound just now? That voice that was speaking? This is a trial that you must face to serve Princess Demest and fulfill your calling. Nope. It was the same as the voice of the manuscript that claimed to be Sobralis in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. Surely the great champion himself doesn't actually believe that I can fulfill Rainsong Pond's calling. But Princess Demest doesn't need me to save her. If anything, I'm the one who needs her help. So you told him you could do it? Huh? No, I didn't. Or rather, he had no intention of hearing my opinion anyway. But seeing as it's for the calling of Rainsong Pond, what choice do I have? You're saying you would like to undergo the trial? Then of course you're welcome to. I couldn't be more delighted to hear that the champion of Rainsong Pond is willing to serve in my kingdom. Besides, I had plans to travel far away in the future, and I was actually just about to invite you to come along with me. Aww, okay. After all, there are bound to be places in this world where the wind doesn't blow. Merjavari. When that time comes, we'll have to rely on those champion legs of yours. Really? And I'll try my best not to make any mistakes, though I've never tried jumping without anyone riding on my back before. Then you'll have to train harder from now on, and to the two of you, thank you for all the help you've given me and my kingdom. Though there are still so many mysteries yet to be solved. Why did we need to find a guardian, and why would a kingdom fall into decay by itself? And why would Rainsong Pond have such a calling? But at least the kingdom has been saved, so now I have more time to contemplate these questions. Harley, don't you think that those manuscripts in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs seem to be related to a story we heard before? Oh, the goddess of fate who used ink to compose her stories. Do you know something about all this? Well, it's a long and complicated... Well, actually, it's not that long or complicated a story. Gabby coded. You tell Princess Celeste and Farabear the story of the goddess of fate. So basically, everything we've been through is a story written by the goddess of fate. Alright, now we've really become characters in a story. But seeing as that goddess wrote us in, why didn't she give us an ending? First those poor souls in the cave, and now us. We've all been through so much. So that must mean it was also the goddess of fate who came up with that line. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. I need some time to think about these matters more deeply. My loyal paladin, please take these gifts as a token of my gratitude. These were the only treasures I brought with me. If you have time, please come back to visit the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells again. I believe that you may have some questions for me. But first, I must rest well and think hard.
You better watch out! There's a cat burglar about!
Cute! I love that. This is really adorable. I love the splash art and also... You know? Anyway... Kirara's outfit, the swashbuckling feline of fairy tale fame, the crafty courier of dearly held dreams. It is pleased to make your acquaintance. Love the alliteration there.
You better watch out! There's a cat burglar about!
Oh, it has like a whole thingy. Wait. Simulanka's rules dictate that the essence of all life in it must conform to the image created by the goddess of fate. In other words, Kirara's Why can't I say that word? Intrepid? There we go. Intrepid manner corresponds to a certain character in the fairy tale that the goddess penned. However, despite her and your travels all across Simulanka, you never heard the tale of any such itinerant hero. Confused, you asked a detective, for you knew that he had heard the goddess's voice and was the keeper of a great many secrets. And so, from his lips you drew this tale. Amongst the multitude of creatures, the cat was favoured of the goddess, such that she even tried to create a realm just for them within Simulanka. She just keeps going. As in her great plan, this new realm would be filled with feline residents of all sizes and fur colours. Here, happiness would be distributed according to principles of balance, and every resident's happy smile would be perfectly calibrated. The cats would never feel sad, and the worst their mood could be was similar to as if a furball was tickling their throat. However, they would never be able to cough it out, no matter how hard they tried, for that would be a negative emotion that they could never make manifest. With eternal, unchanging joy and sorrow unable to be birthed, the scales of the heart were not balanced, nor was this setting. Yet the goddess's attention was divided amongst her other manuscripts, and so this story was put on hold, even as it waited to unfold. Stories at their heart yearned to make sense, or so the goddess is rumoured to have said to herself after the fact. When internal contradictions are not resolved, the pattern of the plot's progression can become perverted, seeking to resolve these absurdities itself. Thus did an itinerant feline heroine appear in the corner of the draft manuscript, and, while the goddess was distracted, escaped between the margins. She stole wrath, tears, and sorrowful sighs from other pages in the manuscript, and she distributed them in every street throughout the country of cats. The residents' smiling iron masks began to melt, and they began to diverge from the predetermined paths fate had written for them. A cat's true nature is to be willful and free, the crafty heroine declared. The goddess was not displeased at this interdiction by one of her creations. If anything, the If anything, the heroine's defiance caused her to make a decision. She would leave this imperfect idea, now put to paper, be. The realm of cats should indeed be a freer place. No wonder, then, that you could find no trace of this gallant cat, for that rebellious figure never slipped out from the paper folds, but could only exist in the wall's blueprint memory. This reminds me of Ashikai's fucking dream theory. As you were deep in thought, you caught a glimpse of Kirara's bright eyes. She seemed truly taken with this tale. Guess I know why I'm dressed like the itinerant heroine now. Isn't that just because you happen to be a cat? So you thought, but you did not voice it. The heroine brought everyone's missing desires back to them. Don't you think that's a lot like what a courier does? Delivering everything your customers need to them and making sure they're satisfied? At their core, both jobs are pretty much the same. Kirara's tail stood up proudly as she said these words. Her passion for delivering goods moved even you, and so you accepted the proposed equivalence, even though it remained unclear if Simulanka's rules would uphold such a statement. That's right, delivery is an amazing vocation. You know what this also reminds me of? Like, with the little mask that she has.
I wonder what's inside this
In this
package.
mode, like when she goes... This reminds me of Kalan Kazlana. In Honkai 3rd. Oh, no. Like that? No. Ah, there we go. What? What is... Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, what? Oh, I have to... Nice! Ah, 2 more brave warriors step up to the plate. Are you here to play Boreal Flurry? Come then, right this way. I'm looking forward to witnessing your unmatched powers of flight. I haven't said anything yet. One needn't keep cool to fly, dear guest. Not at all. A cool head will merely dull your sense of the wind. Only one who faces the wild wind utterly unprepared may uncover their true potential. Flying squirrels nowadays are far too timid. They've utterly forgotten the lessons taught by the brave northerly wind. This feels very Mondstadt-coded. They stand in safe spots and declaiming the courage of leaves that dance in the wind, yet are far too frightened to leap into its embrace themselves. How can we protect the kingdom alongside Her Highness if things keep going this way? Ludicrous! Ludicrous, I say! Man, this flying squirrel sure is the energetic type. Looks like he really loves flying. And that's why I found myself a passage with especially intense wind currents and set up all sorts of devices inside it. Only the bravest, the boldest, and the most bellicose in flight shall best its course. Do you have the required courage, dear guests? I'll have a right go at it. Why are we British now? Excellent. Follow me then. The passage is not far from here. Why, hello there. How do you fare, my wind riders? About the wind path. Well, I did specifically select them for their particular intensity. I believe that one must face the furious flurry without practice or preparation to best hone one's art of flight, to best uncover one's true potential. Shall we merely watch and applaud helplessly as our princess fights our battles? How risible! It is our duty to defend the kingdom, mastering flight our obligation. The safety of the realm is intimately tied to each and every one of us. Still, I wonder if any of my kin will understand these words. They likely think me some obstinate idiot. No matter. Once my techniques have been refined, I shall leave them all speechless. When the time comes, I shall once again tell them of my philosophy. About the brave northerly wind. You want to hear the tale? Sure. But first, let me take a moment to put my thoughts together. The story is well known in our kingdom, and there have been many spins on the narrative. But most begin this way. A long, long time ago, there was a band of northerly winds learning to blow across all things. Amongst those northerly winds, there was one who was especially timid. Whenever he blew across the land, he was always scared stiff. I blew the flowers down, blustered the leaves a blister, and swept hats off the heads of passers-by. My goodness, I even left that lovely lake all astir. Days passed, years went by. This north wind never dared again to blow forth, and the land he was charged with fell into an awkward, windless torpor. I've never seen that word before. And so his friends, the flying squirrels, came to him and asked, "Why do you never come out anymore? Have you fallen ill?" The north wind said sadly, "I've ruined everything. I've brought nothing but sadness and sorrow, and the ruination of such good things." "No, you haven't," his friends cried out in surprise. "You helped us soar into the skies. You've carried rainwater to distant places, and delivered petals and seeds to their places." Northwind is Andrias' title? Interesting. "I know, this is my duty, but I want to avoid the mistakes I make." He shook his head. "There must be a better way to finish my job. Better than what I'm doing now." Is him being upset he keeps killing people? Yeah. His friends looked at each other, knowing that the North Wind was shrouded in self-doubt and anxiety. But for their friend's sake, they needed to come up with something. And so they told the North Wind to blow upon them once more as he pleased, but this time they'd take care of everything on the ground. And thus the saddened North Wind set out, still half mired in doubt. Once more did he blow across the plains, through the forests, and over the lakes. And as he looked down, he saw his friends waving at him. All was in order, with not the slightest spot of a mess. Only then did the North Wind see clearly that the petals he had blown away were filled with tiny seeds, and that new shoots could grow only after the withered yellow leaves had been blown down. And as for that hat, well, if nothing else, it succeeded in warning the rushing gentleman that the weather had shifted, and with it, so should his choice of clothes. When he returned to his dwelling, the North Wind expressed gratitude to his friends. Without their support, he surely would have caused a disaster. But they just laughed, saying that they hadn't done anything differently from before. The North Wind had so wished for perfection that the slightest mistake would all but blinded him. Yet mistakes are normal. Nothing is truly perfect. A North Wind seeking to carry out its duty should never have been so focused on avoiding making any mistakes at all. Instead, he should have worked hard towards his true goal, to help plants sow seeds far afield, to lift the burden from the backs of trees, to carry rainwater along, and to remind people to perhaps wear a layer or two less. Only a North Wind who completes their work in such a matter might be called brave. Does this story have anything to do with what you were saying before? It is absolutely related. It is fear of mistakes that holds the flying squirrels of our kingdom back from flight. They fear being embarrassed, fear missteps, fear accidentally crashing into something, just like how the North Wind was terrified of blowing it. Absolutely ridiculous. The only thing they should fear is the inability to master flight. I really should have made them reread Brave Northerly Wind. You know what? I should just print some new copies and hand them out. In the Boreal Flurry game mode, you will have to move and shoot various targets to score points. Locked-on targets will be marked out, and if you crash directly into targets, a certain amount of points will be deducted. Shooting will consume energy, and energy recovers gradually, so take care and control your shots. Oh no. In this game mode, you can use two different buttons to use two different firing modes. Speedy shots. When held, you can fire continuously. Charge shots. After charging, by holding for some time, release to unleash. Fortified floater targets can only be destroyed by these shots. Slime Supreme targets can take many hits, and they will change after each time they are hit, making them difficult foes indeed. Use speedy shots to deal with them effectively. Oh god. Whoa. Oh. Hello? Oh my god, that was close. It wasn't like targeting it for some reason. Oh, I did it. Okay. Nice. Hello? There we go. This is pretty. Nice. Yay! Explosive targets might appear along the streaming currents, and they will detonate when hit. This can help you quickly destroy targets within a certain area. Shot enhancements may appear along the streaming currents. When you pick them up, you can increase the rate of fire for speedy shots, and you will not consume energy when shooting while buffed. Okay. Fuck, I missed one. Fuck. Fuck. Hold on, let me start again. I'm fucking it. There we go. Hello? There we go. Some of this, like, spatial awareness is weird. No! Fuck, I missed it. Hello? There we go. It's like hard to gauge. Oh, nice. Hello? Okay, got it. Whee! Nice. Hello? There we go. Oh my fucking god, bro. Oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. Oh my god, I missed Sam. Hello? Can I not hit this thing at all?